Hey dear community. So today I want to talk a little bit about psychosis, meaning I had a lot of them, but basically I want to talk about a certain one, two certain ones actually. Like the first one is the psychosis of the world being something of conjuring, meaning that your energy could be drawn away. I mean, your bodily energy. That was the psychosis I had, but that's partially true, right? If there would be spiritual attacks, that's what it would be on. But still, a psychosis that a good person or someone by not um, uh, interest would do that. Like, if someone doesn't have an interest in doing that, that possibly wouldn't happen. It's, I think, impossible to do that by coincidence or without intent. So now, the second psychosis, well, that's about the sark or the grave. And that is actually a thing I really was afraid of for a long time. But now I know that even if I'm buried in a sarcophagus, I pretty much would just be dead. Nothing more, no reincarnation in the sarcophagus and so forth. But I was long time afraid actually to be in a sark, in a grave, in a graven image, to be buried and then be tortured in the grave for actually not doing anything wrong. Like despite sins or not sins, just to be tortured there. That was actually a psychosis I held for a long time. And I think that is like good to talk about because I don't know what a sark is in English. I say sarcophagus because I don't know the word for the burial chamber or whatever you want to call it. Meaning, this psychosis I had there was really much interesting. I had the impression that God would do that, right? Or demons who are good, or angels who are good. I don't think that anymore. If someone would do that, that person would be incarnate evil. And not God, and not Adam and Eve, and not God and his wife. I mean, they're the same person, I guess that's the point. So basically, I think that there was one hell of a psychosis, but it's maybe not even close to reality. I thought that you would be then in the sark and be living through lifetimes and then be put back into the sark. Fuck. To be brought back in the sark to life, and then restart a lifetime with either your loved one or someone else, and then be back into the sark and so forth, and just be losing your breath and suffocating. But I think it's worse if it would ever be true. And if you would actually bury a person, like in reality how it would be done, meaning without a sarcophagus, without anything, or in a stone grave underground, or in a sarcophagus, an actual one, but then you are on the destination to do what. So then it would actually not cause any damage, but by this idea, I don't know how many people ever thought it up. If you ever die, and you think about your death, and envision your dead body without envisioning it in a sark or in a sarcophagus, because envisioning it could spark a conscious hallucination, conjure up for some evil beings that might want to do that to you. So I'm still, with this idea, I still have a slight idea of how the psychosis was, or maybe it wasn't a psychosis. It's difficult to explain. So never envision your body anywhere where it's not, or your mind and your spirit. It's wrong. It does damage to your mind and your spirit. So point being, a sark or sarcophagus is actually sarcophagus good, and in sark maybe not so much. So The reason being, the sarcophagus is protected by ancient religion, as said, then you're in a destination to do that. And the sark is maybe an invention for evil. And the reason being is, if you envision, I got my point again, of yourself being dead, and you would just think of that, like, what would you think in the last years of your life that your body is then in a chamber, buried underground? How would you feel?